I like this.
Okay. Okay.
Houston, Texas news.
Okay. Okay.
All the podcasts will leave you confused. We got Frank Nitty and Patton and Champagne Chef too.
Yes, sir.
So boom, man, we about to get this show started, man. That is just a new intro that I was working on, man.
Why
We
you
gonna
cut it
work
off?
that into the show. But other than that, though, man, we like to welcome y'all to another episode of Texans on 3, Texans on 3, Texans on 3, man. Y'all know how we do it. This is your host, Frank Nitty, a.k.a. Frankenstein in the building. Man, it's been some technical difficulties. We know y'all ain't used to seeing us on a Monday, but, man, we was actually supposed to be here Thursday, but hey, if you live in H-Town, you already know how it went down. You know what I'm saying? We had some storms to come through here, man, and bless all the people that lost their lives and stuff like that, man. It was a real serious storm. They kind of text us at the last minute because I'm pretty sure none of y'all got the warning. I got it was like an Amber Alert. I got a message that they said go run and duck in the bathroom, and I was like, hey, I guess they serious. And the next thing I know, it was 80 to 100 miles per hour wind, man. My power got knocked out for 3 days. I know y'all ain't seen the tweet, man. We were supposed to have a special guest, VT, in the building, which y'all can see on the screen now, man. We was able to make sure that we got him in on here on this special Monday episode, man. This is going to be fun. We've been looking forward to having him on the show, man. We appreciate having you on here. We appreciate all the work that you do for, you know what I'm saying, the Texans. I don't know about all the Michigan stuff, but anyway, everything that you do for the Texans,
Go
man,
Blue!
we appreciate it, man.
Go Blue!
I'm a number one Texans fan, and I love to see people as passionate about the team as I am, man. So I mean, I admire everything that you do. It's kind of really inspired us to do what we doing right here, man. So we definitely want to give you props and stuff like that. But other than that, I want to get a guest a chance to, the other head host, the co-host, man, to introduce themselves, man. So I'm gonna give y'all the floor as always.
Most definitely, man. It's your boy Shep here again. And hey, shout out to everybody in Houston, man. Even the people that still don't have their lights and stuff like that, man. Y'all in my prayers. You know what I'm saying? We here at Texans on 3 again. This time we got my guy Tubby Bell with us. So hey, let's get it going, man.
Hey, man. Shout out to everybody that's still here with us. Bless those that are no longer here with us. You know what I'm saying? Thank God for everything, the good and the bad. But we're here today on a Monday, special edition. You know what I'm saying? Special guy in the building. BT, a.k.a. Chubby Bell, one of the most controversial people in the Texas space. And shout out to my boy, because, we go blue all day.
Go Blue. Go Blue.
Most definitely. So, VT, man, introduce yourself, man, to the people, man. To the people that don't know you. I mean, it's people, I know, I'm pretty sure the whole Texas Twitter community and everybody beyond it knows you, but just if you've been under a rock, man, just introduce yourself to the people, man.
Yeah, I'm known as Brown Chubby Bear or VT. Some people call me VT. No one really calls me by my real name, which, by the way, in case you don't know, it's Vinod. Vinod. No one can pronounce it. I've been going by VT forever. Our podcast is Texans22. You have Leo, who a lot of people know from Texans Twitter, and we have Josh. So all three of us, we started our podcast in December. I used to be part of another podcast, which I left. And so basically what we do is we go live every Tuesday, and we have video breakdowns, and we sell merch at Texans22.com, and we're growing and expanding, and we like to interact with other Texans content creators like yourself. So I'm glad to be on the show and glad to get going.
Man, we really appreciate it, man. We want to, as a matter of fact, we got the effects really working good now. So we actually want to give you an applause, man, and thank you for coming through. Like I said, and no, like Patton said, I want to piggyback off of what he said. I'm not gonna lie. One of the first times I heard first started it, back when Landry first started it, and I used to see you pop up in the comments. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a name like yours, you don't forget. You know what I'm saying? And I think he popped up one of your comments. You had said something. And I was like, Brown Chubby Bear, you know what I'm saying? So it's funny, like I heard your name then, and then on my Twitter, it seemed like I just started seeing you all the time, you know what I'm saying? So, and like Patton say, you are one of the most like controversial. Why do you kind of think that it's like that? What do you think that? Why do people look at you kind of as being controversial?
I think partly is because I wasn't born in Houston, so I became a Texans fan. I was born in Connecticut,
Uh-huh.
and so someone that was not born in Houston, getting a lot of views and so forth, and getting a lot of traction wasn't something a lot of or some people, really weren't happy with. So I think that was part of it. But the other thing is, I say what's on my mind. I don't necessarily walk on eggshells. So if there's a player that I don't like because of whatever reason, I say my piece. And sometimes it doesn't go with the crowd.
Oh yes.
Many of you may know the whole Caleb Williams thing, which is basically before we got CJ out, I wanted Caleb Williams, right? And then once we had got D'Amico, I said, well, we have to get a quarterback now. We're not going to hire a coach and tank for a year to get Caleb. And so that position changed. And that's an example of I had a position, but it changed because of something that happened, firing Lovie Smith, who I didn't think I didn't think that was going to happen. And some people are like, well, you changed your mind. Yeah, I changed my mind because something changed. We fired our head coach, Lovie Smith, and I didn't want to have another rookie QB coach underneath him. I would rather waited a year and gotten Caleb. Now that we fired Lovie Smith, I was like, well, we have to get a quarterback now. So, things like that, so I don't think that it's really crazy controversial. Like it's not like I'm saying crazy stuff, but anytime you get traction with anything, you're always going to find dissenters. And, a saying that I find pretty much true, man. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So,
yeah, no, I say that to people who come in my studio all the time. Like, if people not mad at you, or even if you're doing anything, like even these podcasts, if you're going through your comments and all the comments are positive and stuff like that, that sometimes that it's that hate, it's the hate that not only what it is that you're doing. I don't know what it is about that, but it is. But that actually is true. And like I say, I've been following you a while on Twitter, and like I say, outside of the Texans, I see, man, I be like, bro, you be getting into it with a lot of people about your opinions and the different ways that you see things. And so I totally agree. And y'all, he's telling the truth when he say that he doesn't hold back and he speaks his mind on how he see things. And that's one of the things I like about him, because that's how we are here at this show. When we even started the show, we was like, man, a lot of the times we see a lot of these podcasts where, people, it seems like they trying to, like maybe cater to the team or maybe cater to players or whatever. And those type of podcasts, which they are cool, but you don't walk away from that feeling like you got real, true Texan opinions, especially from people who are really fans. You know what I'm saying? People who really are about this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you be like, man, okay, this and that. But now, like I say, what we starting to see with our podcast, with your podcast, is people bringing real. I mean, I caught one of your podcasts one time, and I don't know who that was on there. They was talking bad about a player. I don't even know what the player name was, but they called the player. Kids cover your ears, but they call him a pussy. And I was like, damn. He must be really mad at whoever this player was. But I think I was in a session. I didn't get a chance to hang in long enough to see who this player that he was talking about. Is that familiar?
Yeah, I think it sounds with Leo. He's my co-host on Tuesday.
Okay, that's who that was.
And he was talking about Michael Pittman.
Oh, okay. Anything about the Colts, I'm in full agreement with. Oh, one thing I do want to speak on real quick, and I'm pretty sure you want to dive into this too. Lately, I seen you tweet something about the Jags getting ready to re-sign Trevor Lawrence. And what you said, it was exactly my sentiments. I was like, please do it. Like Like if y'all do that, man, we know that we got that. We don't got to worry about the Jags for the next 4 years. We good on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see what would even make them think about doing it. Like what kind of desperate? What that is Jacksonville though, but that's pure desperation. What do y'all think about that?
Well, first of all, Jacksonville is a very rich sometimes, but poor most of the time franchise. Um, you go back to when they had their quote unquote Super Bowl window opening, their defense was the top defense in the league. And they had Blake Bortles at the quarterback at the time, who was just really a game manager at best. Now you have Sunshine, which is the great white hope, and they're trying to build a team around him. But I told B Scott earlier today on Twitter that this guy reminds me of David Carr with scramble ability. That's it.
Hey,
like,
they release do kind of look similar.
And I don't know, but
no, that's serious.
I was just gonna say this though, y'all. Just think about it. After they drafted him, and then the year, what else would they do besides? Hello.
No, we
okay, yeah. What else would they do besides? Okay.
Start again.
Now I was gonna say, what else would they do besides sign him to a deal?
Yeah, they almost.
You know what
trapped.
I mean?
You
be trapped into it.
Because they've built what you would call a fan base for him. They got some people that believe in him, and it's crazy. It's like you caught in that rock in between the hard spot where, like, if we don't sign him, we still may lose half of the fan base. You know what I'm saying? But signing him would at least keep that half of that fan base there, that the delusional season ticket holders or whatever. But yeah, I just think like what did you think about that, VT?
So I think the Jags pretty much don't have much of a choice. Now they could tag him, but if they tag him, that pretty much means that they don't believe in him. And so what that means is that other players may not know what the future holds, or is it something that isn't consistent if you're just tagging your quote unquote generational franchise quarterback. So they're kind of in a situation where if they don't actually give him a deal, everyone will see that they don't have the confidence in Trevor Lawrence. So they kind of have to, if they want people to have confidence. Now they're in the same situation basically as the Dolphins are in. In my opinion, they both have good quarterbacks, but not necessarily quarterbacks that can win a Super Bowl. With Trevor Lawrence, I'll say one good thing about him is that he gets the ball out very quick. Second or third in the NFL, really like Tom Brady and Tua are two of the fastest quarterbacks in terms of getting the ball out. And Trevor Lawrence is right up there. The problem that he has is that he has no idea how to keep the ball safe. Not only interceptions, which he pretty much leads the league in with Josh Allen, but he also fumbles a lot. And unlike Josh Allen actually puts up the touchdowns. So you're getting close to a 1-to-1 ratio or better. But with Trevor Lawrence, you literally are at best 1-on-1. And then if you add the fumbles, 7 lost fumbles, he keeps putting the defense in a bad position. So what Jags fans want to do is blame the defense. But if the quarterback keeps putting the defense in a bad position, what are they supposed to do? And the big thing with him is that he is not as accurate as, say, C.J. Stroud. He always overthrows or underthrows his players, right? So he can have some of the best weapons out there, but he can't get them the ball. Now, you can use the excuse. I have the meme out just moments ago or an hour ago calling too many excuses as a movie poster that I'm going to do for Trevor Lawrence. And the problem is that there's just too many excuses all the time. The first year was, it's because of Urban Meyer. And then, this past season was, he was hurt. So every year there seems to be an excuse. Even in the year where they won a playoff game, you had an excuse of why they didn't do better, why they only won 9 games. They couldn't get to double digits. Well, it was first year without Urban Meyer, and it's kind of like his rookie year. Every year was an excuse. And, this is the year where he really needs to put up a shutoff. And I don't think they did a great job on offense. I think they actually probably have the best defensive line in the division, probably a top 3 defensive line. But their offense hasn't gotten much better. They added Mitch Morse at center, and that's one guy. But their entire offensive line was horrendous last year. That is the reason why Trevor Lawrence got hurt 3 or 4 times throughout the season. All they did was on one position, and they're kind of just hoping everyone just stays healthy. They didn't do much there. On the wide receiver group, they got Brian Thomas, probably the best receiver that Lawrence has ever played with in his NFL career. But they got rid of Calvin Ridley instead of tagging him. What they should have done is tagged Calvin Ridley and extended Josh Allen. That's actually what they should have done. And then they would have kept Calvin Ridley. They would have gotten Brian Thomas, and they didn't have to worry about someone like Gabe Davis, who is essentially he's an NPC, right? He doesn't matter on the field for the most part. He's going to get you 400 to 500 yards, maybe 2 touchdowns, maybe 3, but he's not a factor. I don't think the Jags are a big factor. I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to continue to make mistakes, and I think that he's going to have some really good games, man. He's going to have some, because that's what he does, inconsistent, but he's going to have some really good games, 350 yards, maybe even 400, and then he's going to collapse just like he did last year.
But what do y'all think happened to all the talk about the generational quarterback? He was supposed to be like on the level with supposedly John Elway and Andrew Luck even. When they see these quarterbacks coming out right now, I'm gonna be honest, and everybody know who watched the show. That's exactly how I felt about CJ. Like, I honestly thought that when I saw CJ at the combine, I know y'all hear me talk about this all the time, but you're going to keep hearing it. When I saw the man at the combine, I actually thought, because, at the time there were a lot of us in Houston that was still Bryce Young. And when I saw CJ at the combine, I was like, well, at least we still going to be able to get Bryce Young. Because CJ looked so good that I said, I know that Carolina is not going to pass up on him. I just know they not. So I'm like, well, it's still, it's going to end up looking right, even though we lost that we won that last game that we should have lost. But, I couldn't believe they picked Bryce Young, and I was so excited about CJ, man. Even after that pick with the Patriots, I just knew that he was going to be what he was going to be, because when you see quarterbacks, in all my years of watching quarterbacks, when you see the feet, like when people talk about feet, I know it's boring, but it's one of those things that are consistent. Like when you see a quarterback feet be consistent in every one of his throws, you just kind of know like, hey, this dude gonna be something. And for him to come in and actually did what he did, the rest is history. He showed us what he's going to be for us in the future. And while we talking about AFC South teams, we're going to be playing the Broncos not the Broncos, the Colts. That's a horse too, y'all, so don't be thinking I was tripping. But anyway, we're going to be seeing a lot of people, especially Jones Drew was like, that's going to be a loss for us. And you know what? I've been seeing a lot of Texans fans out there that's been putting out what they think that the schedule is going to look like. And a lot of people have been putting that X up there with those Colts, bro. And I'm not being delusional when I say this. I don't think we lose to the Colts week 1, 2 years in a row like that. I think we kind of got punched in the mouth last year. We kind of didn't expect that. I think we wasn't expecting coach that Shane Steichen to be that good, and he really galvanized them boys over there, and they punched us in our mouth, bro. And I think we just gotta respect that. But do y'all fear them week 1?
No. Now I will say this about Shane Steichen: he's a very extraordinary offensive coach. When he was in Philadelphia, you seen the rise of their offense with Jalen Hurts, and you see the decline now that he's gone. Now that he's in Indianapolis, he has a quarterback that's very not simple, but very similar to Hurts, if not better. The biggest knock on Richardson is his health, the way he plays. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be one of those games that's going to, really test us as far as the division goes. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's only us and the Colts that matter in this division. Like, the Titans are going to go through purgatory as usual. Hey, Jill. The Jaguars are the Jaguars. Like, they have David Carr 3.0 over there. I mean, he's not throwing fumbles, but he's running and fumbling. Nobody hitting him. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you this, man. The Colts don't have DBs to hold us, our receivers. The best linebacker is Zaire. Zaire can't hold both Stover and Dalton Schultz. It's going to get real bad early. we're gonna blow them out in the first half, and come second half, we're gonna ease off the gas, and the final score is gonna look like as if it was a tough game throughout, but it's not gonna be a tough game. The
I
first game.
gotta. I mean, how I feel about it, I'm not scared of him either. And another thing I know, I think we'll be ready for him this time because the first match that we weren't ready for Richardson seemed like, you know what I mean, the way he came out and the way they came out, it was like, oh, we was shocked. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we'll be able to get all this stuff together and get them guys right, then you know what I'm saying, I feel like we'll be ready this year and it'll be better this week one. Yeah, it'll be way better than week one.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I think the Colts are our biggest challenge in the division, and I'm not talking about necessarily matchups. I think we split overall in the year, the new year. I think that week one we had the obvious advantage. Our quarterback didn't get hurt after 2.5 games. He played mostly a full season. Our offense, except for Diggs, is basically very much the same. Joe Mixon coming out and being running back will improve the run game, but he's also a receiving threat. So we have 5 weapons, whereas the Colts have. All right, they're relying on Adana, right? AD Mitchell, right? So they're relying on a rookie for one of them. They got Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
Josh Downs is not bad. He had him and Tank were actually almost neck and neck when it came down to stats until Tank got hurt. So you got 2 good receivers there, but they're also banking on a rookie. We're not banking on a rookie. We have everyone that is coming back has been successful at least 1 year in the NFL, and then we have depth too. Noah Brown, as well. Like how many teams have 1, 2, 3, and 4 all locked down? We got that locked down. We've got the running back. So on offense, we also have the better QB. On defense, I think that we have an incredibly great line. I think our defensive line is going to be better than theirs. I think the question mark really comes down to the secondary, but against the quarterback that we're playing, I think that's okay. It's not like, again, we're not playing against like a Tom Brady. AR has an arm. I thought that he went prior to us drafting CJ Stroud. AR was my favorite quarterback because of that athleticism that he had. But the problem is that if he can't stay healthy, none of that matters. Now, let's say he does stay healthy. Well, how much do you learn of the playbook? Now, he got hurt very, very early on in the season. Of course, you assume that he's studying. Now, how much of that studying has he been able to take on the field? He could be literally coming in here essentially as just a continuation of his rookie year, because I don't know how much he was able to develop being hurt so early on. So we could see an AR that has not learned the playbook, mentally has, but not been able to execute it. And remember, there's all sorts of things that you got to do out there that he was not doing because Gardner Minshew take over. And it's as simple as simply calling out the plays, right? When you got to call out a complicated play, and before you get a penalty for delay of game, that's one small little thing that in a series of like 50 different things before the play comes off, before you're able to, and then you have to read the defense and change protection. And he hasn't done much of that because he got hurt. This is him being a rookie. So
Basically.
the first game, we have the obvious advantage. Yes, they got Jonathan Taylor as a good running back, but we have Joe Mixon. So, the thing is, what Steichen's going to do is he's going to run the ball. He's going to have a lot of RPOs. You're going to see him try to use our quality, or use their qualities that they have on the ground in order to move the ball. But we have some monsters. You've got Foley from the Jaguars, who's going to be really helpful against the run. You have weak side linebacker Christian Harris that looks like a god out there last year. One of my favorite underrated players from the Texans.
Mine too.
Yes, sir.
And we picked up Aziz. You've got players that are going to stop the run. Will Anderson was the best rookie edge against the run last year. One of the reasons why he was Defensive Rookie of the Year. So you have all these players that are against the run. D'Amico Ryans, Will Anderson said this in the press conference. D'Amico Ryans says, the first thing, before sacks are even talked about, stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. If you remember in 2022, we were one of the worst, second worst, depending on what stat you looked at, against the run. And we became a top 10 team, and actually a top 5 team, depending on some areas, depending on what stats you look at. We were so good against the run compared to where we were in 2022. Now that's only going to improve. So the things that Steichen's going to do, we should match up well. So I think it's done on week one.
Yes, sir. The element surprise is gone. They won't surprise us no more.
Yeah, like I
we
think
seen what
like
they'll
I
do.
say, I think we may have took them for granted. Maybe it could have been nerves on our side last year, but like I say, that was a genuine punch in the mouth. That was like, even when I go back, I sometimes go back and just watch their game just to look at it. And you just can see that by the time, just like when a boxer get punched in the mouth, you daze. By the time your head gets back clear, like by the time we got clear, we was down by 31 already. But
exactly.
we started to make those moves. We started to make those moves on offense. Like if you watch the game, you start to see that stuff started clicking, but it was a little too late.
I'm gonna say this: in that first game, you have to understand we were also coming off the Ravens game. This is CJ's second game. That defense was still learning the defense. You know what I'm saying? So the team as a whole, they didn't hit their stride.
Hold on. I'm confused. We didn't play the Colts week 1 last year. We played the Ravens week 1. Oh, so we didn't play the Ravens week 1. Oh yeah, y'all fucking right. Yeah, we definitely got. So damn. Yeah, we was
think about it, man. Like
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So AR caught our defense at a good time because they hadn't gelled together just yet. CJ didn't have the chemistry with the receivers just yet. Like the team as a whole, it's a good thing we went 0-2. So
I was impressed by his athleticism. That's what got him up 14-0. Yeah, AR. Yeah. But I don't
needed Wi-Fi.
he can't take a hit. Because pretty much, you know what I'm saying, when he got hit on, and that's what knocked him out of the game. So
he hit his head on the ground hard. That's what that was. It wasn't hard.
It was a concussion. Oh, so it wasn't nothing in the body.
It wasn't. No. He does have. He concussed, but he did have a hamstring injury, or he had hamstring problems from college, and he also had concussion problems from college because of the way how he plays.
But what actually kept? I mean, that was his last game of the season, though, right?
For him against
us, yeah.
Yeah, so what was the actual injury? What was his season-ending injury? It wasn't a concussion, right?
I don't know, but
it was a shoulder. It was a shoulder or something. Oh yeah,
it was a hit on the one. So that's what I'm trying to tell you.
But like I said,
he's not gonna want to do that no more. He's not. I don't think he's gonna want to come in the league. Like, sometimes you come in the league, you think you're Superman, think you're Cam Newton or whatever. But I don't think he's gonna approach the game like that no more. And I think Shane Steichen is gonna try to. I think they're going to try to coach that out of him. So I don't think we'll get more of that, what we were seeing. You know what I'm saying? But he did. If y'all go back and look at that game, he made some nice passes down the middle.
He did.
I was actually so upset because I was depending on our defense to at least be able to stop things like that.
That's Perriman. Perriman's not a good pass coverage linebacker.
He psyched me out during the preseason though, man. I
don't think it's Perriman like that, y'all. Like I said, when VT broke down his points and CPU break down your points, and even when you break down your points, all I go back to is the element of surprise. That was our first time seeing AR. It was like, oh damn, he can do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what. And by the time we caught wind of it, man, we already down. Like you said, we already down 21 points. You see what I mean? So I think that's what it was.
See what I think when he started to connect on. See, we already knew about his athleticism. But once he started to connect on a few of those passes, I think the defense was like, "What the fuck?" They wouldn't expect this shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it kind of caught them on their heels a little bit, man. But one thing I'm noticing, and really, I'm glad how this show is kind of turning into, like, sometimes shows morph into what they doing, but it's like we taking down these AFC South teams. One team that I noticed that we kind of tend to be throwing to the side, and a lot of people are. Except McLean. McLean's favorite team. Y'all know who that is?
Titans.
Hey, there you go. Hey, I don't know why he loved them Titans so much, but he
ex-Oiler.
But he
grew up with them.
Exactly. I grew up with the Oilers too, but I hate the Titans.
He didn't let it go.
Like, as soon as he went to Tennessee, it's over with. Like, I'm not riding with you. But let's get back on this. Okay. Not too many people are talking about the Titans, but I'm glad I brought up McLean because he thinks that they're going to be good. Same way with AR, right? We got to respect the fact that when we played the Titans, I saw Mr. Mayo like connect on some
Asshole.
pretty good surprising passes that I wasn't expecting. I was like, damn, like, yo, like, and now, you know what I'm saying? He's got Calvin Ridley over there. He's got Tyler Boyd. He's got DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know how much a percentage of DeAndre Hopkins that he does have, but it's decent, right? So we can't sleep on a wide receiver core, but I do see that everybody has got them at the bottom of the AFC. That's where we used to live. But so we know what it's like. So them being down there, is it cool that we sleeping on them like that?
Well, let me just say that not everyone is essentially sleeping on them. In my rankings, I have them being third. I have the Jaguars being fourth. Ben Arthur, who covers the AFC South for Fox Sports, was on our podcast last Tuesday, and he actually agreed with me. I thought I would be the one lone wolf saying that, but he believes that the Jaguars will actually be last, and that the Titans will be in third. Leo, one of my co-hosts, actually believes the Titans will be in second. Now, I think that's going a bit too far, but I do think the Titans will make a jump up. Now, we have a new coach coming in that's more offensive-minded for the Titans. Last year, they won 6 games, and neither of their quarterbacks were healthy. So Levis continuously had foot issues. Ryan Tannehill obviously was hurt. You knew that was going to happen. Levis was going to play more than half the season. But even Levis, he played against a bottom 5 O-line. He was injured and had really only one weapon. So now he added a couple weapons. Then they now got another tackle. They already got the guard. So now you have at least three positions in the O-line that are solidified. So he's going to have much more protection. The problem with him, though, he has horrible pocket presence. So last year, amongst all rookie quarterbacks, he performed the worst when it came to pressure. Worst pressure rating, took a lot of sacks, couldn't complete stuff. So basically, you're talking about a guy right now that when he's pressured, he's basically terrible. So if you're blitzing him, if his O-line can't stand up to blitzes, if he can't know to just dump the ball quickly and get out of there, he's not going to be able to succeed. You're just going to blitz him 50% of the time. Now, will we do that particularly? No, D'Amico doesn't blitz like that, but other teams will. And you don't think D'Amico's going to see, he can't go up against a blitz, and now he's just going to switch the game plan for Levis. Levis's issue is that he has to have better pocket presence. Number 2 is that he thinks that he can beat anybody up, which means that this is really what AR's problem is too. So if he sees someone coming up, he's going to try to truck through them. Meanwhile, he's getting sacked and he's losing yards. In AR's case, he's getting hurt. So they both have to learn when to say, okay, enough's enough. I've got my 1 yard. I didn't get a first down, but let's go and get this 3rd and 2 instead of making it a first down, because you got to live to play another down. I think Levis has lots of issues there. One more thing, and then like Titans, they've got honestly a really good secondary, right? They've got Snead, the second best corner in the division is Snead. I think the first is Stingley, but they also got the Bengals, who didn't have a great year last year, but then will probably come back out because he just came back from injury. They probably have the more complete cornerback duo right now. We're question marks. We don't know whether it's going to be a Kuda or a Lassiter. So I think their secondary is going to be better. I think Levis is going to be better. I think they move up from 4th place to 3rd place, but I don't think they move up past that.
I'm going to say this about Will Levis. The quarterback room as a whole in Tennessee, you have a guy that they believe has all the potential in the world from a physique standpoint. Then you have another guy behind him who really can't throw the football. The head coach is coming in with a lot of work to do in that room, period. Their team is going to run. They're going to do good only if they can run the ball, period. I told my guys a while back that receivers go to Tennessee to die, period. Like everybody I don't know if you guys remember, Randy Moss was once on the Tennessee Titans. Like that's how Randy Moss was part of the Tennessee Titans.
No, he was. I remember that too. I played with him on that.
I remember.
Yeah, like and Hop is our greatest receiver too. Andre's first, of course.
And Dre wore the
Dre
Titans.
went there too. It was bad for him.
Columbia Blue.
it was bad. I mean, now I agree with VT. Their DBs as a whole, their secondary as a whole, I would say is slightly better. But I feel like the scheme that we're gonna run, our front 7 is better. Only thing I can question really is the third linebacker spot. But if you're gonna run a 4-2-5 with our two linebackers, then I give the edge to us if that's gonna be our base going forward.
Right.
But honestly, even with the additions to the O line, we got dogs on D line. Like, and it doesn't take much for Levis to. He has what I would call David Carr feet in the pocket. If he senses the pressure,
I
or
think he'll run a lot more this year, though.
he's gonna have to.
But he's a good runner. I've seen him run in college.
But this is the league, man. This is the league. You know, he's not athletic like a Mike Vick or a Vince Young or even an AR. He's not.
So they coach that they signed, right? The coach that they brought in, he's like offensive line guru or whatever. That's what he's been known for his career.
He's an offensive guy. Period.
They're
gonna need that. A lot of it. I don't think
personally.
One more thing. Honestly, I don't believe Tennessee will be competitive until another 5 years from now when they actually find a good quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a long time. So I mean, we ain't really got to worry about them.
I hope we right about Levis. I hope we right about Levis. One thing
unless
about
you change the system to his strengths, that's the only way you can get better.
I just don't believe in him. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I don't believe in him either, but I just know sometimes I done seen it in the NFL, bro. Shit, look at Gardner Minshew. You can make sometime a certain and shout out Gardner Minshew, and only for this reason. Any team like he has success every team he goes to, but for some reason they don't stick with him. But you know, that's for another show. But
they see how far it can go. But like I was saying, why I don't really believe in the Titans job is because I don't believe in Will Levis. They lost a voice in their locker room. Derrick Henry, even though we shut him down, we held him like 3 yards or something, but there's still a big voice in the locker room. Then they lost a head coach. So I feel like their team right now just searching for identity. You know what I mean? And then when you play against guys like us, we build an identity. We also had success, and then we just adding on to the depth chart and stuff like that. That's why I'm not really too much worried about Tennessee. You know what I mean? Because like, do y'all really believe in Will Levis? Is he really that good? Who y'all gonna replace Henry with? Okay, Hopkins. How much are y'all gonna get with Hopkins? And y'all still, even for Hopkins to be effective, y'all still got to give him the ball. With Will Levis still has to give him the ball. Is the O line gonna block for him like that? Is the D line and the DBs that much of a big effect? You know what I'm saying? In the locker room,
all teams are gonna have a very hard time against our defense, bro. It's just how much I'm believing in our defense. Like, people are gonna have problems. Like, if you take what we have on defense, now I know that it's on paper. I understand that, and we have to see what that second corner is gonna look like too. But right now, like I said, and I've said this on the show before, this is almost like one of our scariest defenses, bro. Like it's stacked. It's stacked. We got a lot of hard hitters and physical players on there, and that's what I love about Lassiter, man. And when you brought up Snead earlier, when I look at Lassiter, and I know people like this is me. When I look at this is what I want to see Lassiter be, right? Because when they go to talking about a corner that's not that fast, you know what I'm saying, but smart and knows how to react to the ball and plays in certain type of ways, I see Snead. I want him to be a Snead type of player, because Snead does so much of his work on that line of scrimmage that it's not even about him being fast. He gonna keep going on the line of scrimmage. All I had to see, like, I ain't gonna lie, this off season, bro, if we would have picked up Snead, I'd have been like, yo, like, because what he did in Miami against, what he did against that game against Miami, against
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, bro. Like, who jams Tyreek Hill, bro?
Jammed him up too.
I'm talking about, and I know it was snow out there. I know I know people gonna say, bro, it was 3 feet of snow out there. Okay, I know that, but still, you don't jam Tyreek Hill, bro, in a playoff game. Like, he not only pressed him, bro, he pressed him to the ground. Like,
he did.
Tyreek Hill might say he was injured, but I don't know. But I know that we had
his hand was injured, but
I want to bring up the first one. The first one being Steven Nelson Twitter fingers, man. I'm pretty sure y'all heard what I heard, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna be honest. I was mad. I probably was like I know, I'm from Fifth Ward, and D'Amico's wife is from Fifth Ward, but I really felt real offended, bro. Like I really, you know what I'm saying? I'd have seen Steven out there in the street somewhere, man. He probably would have had a problem, you know what I'm saying? Because like, bro, calling D'Amico milk dud head, bro. like
yeah.
Look, we know the bald guys. Look, I'm bald, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? When you're dark skinned like this, I know our head could look a little duddish. You know what I'm saying? It could look a little duddish, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying though, that for him to do that, especially like after last year with the whole vest fiasco, I really thought that the fact that they even signed him last year, I was like, okay, he must really gonna step up and play, or that we really needed him. But when they didn't bring him back this year, you know, I kind of understood that, because y'all know, what have I said on this show before? Y'all almost took my head off for saying it. I told y'all that Steven Nelson is a overachiever. He was solid corner, bro. Like, did y'all see and look, speaking on Texans22, did you break down and watch him against the VT? Did you see him against the Buccaneers?
Yes.
I think
that was
a travesty, bro.
I mean, there's a lot of games there where, here's the problem with Steven Nelson. He made big plays where, like in the Falcons game, right? He was getting burnt all day long, and then he made the play to end the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, you're gonna get burnt, you're gonna get burnt, and then you make a big play, so people let it go. And if you're looking at just like not advanced stats, but regular stats, and if you didn't, and a lot of people who are looking at Steven Nelson and saying, why isn't he here? Well, he got burnt a ton. Now, did he make big plays and have interceptions? Yeah, he did. And that's how he made up for it. Now, his excuse is that he was hurt a large part of the season. And he did have multiple injuries. He had a hand injury, a foot injuries. He played through injuries. Cool. But he is aging, and he got burnt a lot. I don't consider him necessarily an overachiever. I consider him making, honestly, some of those plays were just luck, in all reality. And
that's really what I meant.
Right. So I mean, he's still letting up over 73% or something of his targets go by. But the other thing there is that Steven Nelson has a personality issue. Obviously, nobody did last year with Caserio. He did that with Ryans, but it's not just limited to the coaching staff. When he went on that tirade about Nick, he also talked about players that have nose rings and that care about fashion. And obvious hit on Tunsil. So, like, you know, a captain on the offense, you're literally talking about Laramie Tunsil, the highest paid player on the Texans. I mean, literally before CJ Stroud, you would say the best player on the Texans. So why would you talk about Tunsil? So it doesn't make sense why you would talk bad about people that really the entire city and as well as out-of-market fans respect. You know, whether that's Tunsil and now Caserio and Ryans. I mean, he's making enemies where he doesn't have to make any. And then we all know what he wants. He wants to be respected, and for him that means $8 million or more. That's what he's looking for. But the bottom line is that he's old for football. And so not only that he's older, but he also has this energy vampire stuff, right? Where he brings the locker room down. Now, if you're going to be a person that brings the locker room down, you have to be literally an all-pro level type of guy to be on a roster like that. Never mind the money that you're commanding. So if you're commanding top dollar for your position and you're going to be an asshole, you have to be at a level that almost no one else can be. You have to be top 5 in your position. And he's not. If you look at interceptions, sure, he's higher. But if you're looking at all those other statistics like yardage and so forth, he ranks literally like 30th, like 29th, not that great as a corner. So bottom line is he's not going to be here, and wherever he ends up, I'm not sure if he'll get more than $5 million. I think he's making $3 to $5 million somewhere.
That's what I think. I think that's right around the range where he's gonna get a 1 year, 3 to 5, and probably get. I mean, I'm not hoping this on him, but probably end up getting cut by training camp because, like you say, he's breaking down. Like once you get to that point where you breaking down like that, and you kind of can't understand why you getting paid the money that you like. You know this game better than you should know it better than us sitting here, and we know how the business part of the game goes. But I honestly think, and before y'all take it, I honestly think that he did that because his podcast. He started a podcast. And I think he's just trying to be controversial, but I believe that, like I say, that's the wrong take to go at D'Amico. I think that if you were gonna talk about the Texans, and if you really wanted to be genuine about the storm and people getting help and all of that, that you would have really maybe talked about the owners or something like that.
Yeah,
like, not going at the head coach and then calling him milk dud and saying meathead persona and all of this kind of stuff, man. I'm like, yeah, you I think he's just trying to get I think it's a dig definitely at D'Amico, but also, just trying to pull track to his podcast or whatever.
I'll tell you this, man.
Okay, CP.
Going back to last year with the Casero stuff, he also said that these guys walking around here thinking they're going to win a Super Bowl. Like, that comment stuck out to me so much that when he said that, I just knew this guy is gone. I believe he felt threatened by Shaq Griffin, the other cornerback, because they signed him once all the things was going on. Now, as far as gameplay, kudos to him for playing injured, being tough, like toughing it out. But at the same time, man, you can't be negative and expect a positive outcome. You just can't do it. It's not going to work. Now, not only he called out the Texans, he also called out the Rockets. Like,
yeah, like it was crazy.
Why bring a basketball team to this? And I understand, in his mind, he's trying to put the pressure on these organizations to do something, right? Houston as a whole, we have people out here that when these things happen, a rapper shot to Trey, he always steps up. And instead of you, saying like, instead of you being positive and remaining positive, you're bringing negative attention to yourself. And he's on Twitter wondering why everybody's trolling him. Like, us Texans fans, we care about our team. We care about our city. Once you come in here on some BS, the whole city gonna turn on you. And he's
I think he know he out of here because what?
Nobody. And look, hey, if you want to play, Jacksonville down the street, man. That's how.
Hey, look, man, look. I'm gonna say this about Steven Nelson, bro. First of all, for you to jump on social media and tweet something like that, man. Hey, you know what, bro? Just pack your bags up and go, bro. And then for you to even say that, man, you put some of your money your NFL money in and go. You get out there and go help. You go help some of these people. Steven Nelson, don't ever talk down on the city like that. Then you took a shot at D'Amico Ryans. What is D'Amico supposed to do that everybody else not doing? You know what I mean? And that's what I don't like, bro. You calling people out and doing this and doing that, and I don't like you talking down on the city. But what have you done for the city, Steven Nelson?
Yeah, you would have had
Nelson. What have you done, bro? Man, you jumped on Twitter, bro. I hate people that like the lip wrestle on Twitter, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah,
that's man. You gonna tweet on Twitter?
He was on Twitter salivating at the mouth.
Come on, man. You gonna hey, D'Amico Ryan? I can picture D'Amico Ryan. Get your milk good head, man. Get out of here, bro.
Hey, bro, I'm talking about,
bro. Bye, Steven Nelson. Bye. I wish we could have deleted you off the account, man. Bye, Steven Nelson.
Hey, for real, man.
Don't ever talk down on the city like that, man. People still don't have lights and stuff like that right now. For you trying to make a mockery of that, man. I don't like that.
Hey,
so ass out of here.
I tried when you dropped this podcast, and I tuned into it, and I sent him a message on there. I said, "Hey, man, I like your pod, I like what you're doing, but I had some suggestions for him because I was watching it." I had some, hey, I watched a lot of podcasts or whatever. So I'm like, hey, I got some suggestions for you to help you with your show to take it to the next level. Guess what he did? He blocked.
Yeah.
Damn.
Man, forget Steven Nelson, bro. Yeah, let's go block him.
Dang, he blocked you.
He's not a fan of Texans fans. He doesn't like Texans fans. He doesn't like the Texans, period. I mean, So he's the only person that I ask for interviews, and I ask players for interviews all the time, probably multiple times. I'm probably annoying. And I get reporters, I get players, I got Lonnie Johnson. So I'll always ask
shit.
if there's an opportunity.
I was just gonna bring up Lonnie. I said this is gonna be the dopest segue ever, right? We got Steven Nelson Twitter fingers. We know how Lonnie Johnson got down on Twitter, right? Just a quick question for y'all, just real quick before we go into the OTAs. Do y'all think Lonnie makes the team, or do y'all hope he makes it? I'm gonna say one. I hope he does.
He's making that special teams. He's making.
Yeah, I hope he make it. Yeah, he'll make it.
Yeah, I'm not that mad at Lonnie. Like even the stuff he used to say, and shit, man. I'm not mad at him like I'm mad at Steven Nelson, bro. Like Lonnie used to talk some shit too, though.
See, I'm just getting used to the Twitter, man. I'm not.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did. I can't give
him. Lonnie apologized. He said he's learned a lot, right? And and I was surprised that every single comment, both live and afterwards, during the interview, was positive about Lonnie. But the reason I brought up Lonnie,
giving him an interview too, man. I seen that. I was like, dang, y'all was one of the first to grab him.
Salute VT, Tubby, man. Salute.
I mean, we try to do it, man. But the reason I brought up Lonnie is because unlike Lonnie, Steven Nelson doesn't learn anything. So Steven Nelson is, like I said, he was the only player, coach, reporter that I interviewed that said the only way I'll come on your podcast if you pay me $1,000. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Damn.
Like, I have not paid anyone ever to come on the podcast. I know some people think I have, and he's asking $1,000 to jump on the podcast. I mean, like, listen, people are busy. We can shorten it to, like, if you're not ready for an hour, obviously 15 minutes. We shorten things for players and stuff like that. Like we did with Lonnie Johnson. We did it like 15-minute interview. But flat out demanding $1,000, that's pretty crazy, in my opinion. And ever since I said, no, I'm not going to pay $1,000, but you're welcome to jump on the podcast, he literally has like a personal vendetta against me. Like we go back and forth on Twitter all the time. And he's the type of guy that he's got a chip on his shoulder and he feels like he's been done wrong when nothing has been done wrong with him, right?
Yeah.
Like he felt like he deserved more money. So Castillo gave him $1 million extra to be happy last year, but they didn't want to extend him past that year. They said, listen, we'll give you $1 million as an extra like raise, but he wanted a 3-year extension, and Nick Castillo didn't want to keep him on that extension. He was pissed off even during the season last year. And now he's mad again because we apparently lowballed and we gave him an offer that he was unhappy with. I mean, so you're going to really just ruin the bridge. Not only did you call out the general manager last year, now you called out the head coach. If you ever thought there was a pathway of having the Texans as your backup, if something else failed, you obviously just ruined your chances. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't find a job and he says, I'm retiring from the NFL, I'm going to have my podcast.
It is psychologically, too. You always know that when you hear somebody say, like when a player goes on on Twitter or any social media and say, I'm content, I'm straight, they not straight. If they were, they wouldn't say it. Like when you gotta say, I'm not tripping on no money, I'm content. Oh, bro, you fall from content. Yeah, you hurt, bro. Because if you want us to believe that that's what's really going on, like when people really are in that situation, they don't talk about it. You go away and you realize that, hey, you knew it from the day you signed your first contract that you was gonna outgrow this game. So
Nitty, this how you know he Hollywood. How you gonna ask somebody for $1,000 to come on the podcast? You heard, man. Come on, bro. 1,000.
I gotta say this though.
Come on, bro.
I gotta say this though, my guy. Your boy, and we're going to OTAs right after this, even though OTA is gonna be short. Joe Mixon is online charging people $500 to play Madden though. Is that a bet, y'all think? And that they probably didn't put that fully out there like that? Because see, if that's a bet, it makes sense.
It's a bet. So
yeah, it's gotta be. I don't think he's charging people $500.
No. Okay, so basically, I played Madden with a few Texan players in the past, i.e. Charles, Sox, and
Charles James.
Yeah, Sox. We put up $100, and you put it in Venmo. I think it's Venmo you use. You put the money there, so that way winner it goes to the winner. But that's basically what it is.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Did I get my money? No, but it's cool.
What?
Damn.
Yeah. He
Hey,
quit.
Charles.
Oh,
Hey,
man,
Charles
y'all make
James the second.
I think he the third.
what?
If he don't want to go by Junior, he put the second. He got the two, the number 2 behind his name. So I mean, in Roman numerals
What?
anyway.
I
But
thought he was the third,
yeah,
but
bro, pay my man this $100, man. Other
Yeah,
than
come
that,
off that bread, man.
other than that,
That's
man, we're gonna
crazy.
go into the excitement for the OTAs. The reason I said y'all that that's probably gonna be quick is because we don't have any news on the OTAs. I remember we have a little pod text that we have, and I told the guys, I was like, man, I think there must have been a lot of fighting going on. Like, like I've never seen. Y'all have to remind me. OTA day 1 where we don't see nothing.
yeah.
Hey, it's slow it cooking like that, bro. It's slow it cooking to where he is like he don't want nobody to see nothing. Or what y'all think went on? Why we got like limited news on OTAs today?
I'm liking it. I'll tell you this. I'm actually happy. Why? It's the first day where people are coming back. They don't have to pretend, that they want to try something out. They don't have to be like, oh shit, is this going to be on social media because I fucked up and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. First day back, just kind of go through the groove, tell people what you're about, especially you got new guys, you got guys coming in at free agents. So just get everyone cool, right? How many times, and JJ Watt has said this, part of the problem of having the media there is that when you want to try new stuff, you're in practice and it doesn't succeed, it goes viral and people talk about like how come this didn't work, right? We've all done this. We've all seen our opponents, look at Baker Mayfield. I made fun of Baker Mayfield in training camp, right? Because he looked like crap, and look how well he played in the actual NFL season, right? So I think by doing this, at least having one day where the players can be like, we can just do what we want to do. We can try to install this new stuff that we're getting without looking like fools on the camera is a great thing to do. The media wasn't allowed there today. They will be allowed tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of clips, and I can't wait. I'm still excited for OTAs, even though today the media wasn't able to be there.
Yeah, you thought exactly like how I did. I'm like, yo, if it's gonna be like that, and it's that to me, that says straight business. We standing on business. It's straight business today. All that Hollywood shit, that's out the window. We going to work today. We putting our hard hats on. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I wasn't worried. I said the little joke about the fights and stuff like that because and what you said, Patton, you was like, that's a good and a bad thing.
Huh? Good and a bad thing. Like it's good that we got a dog in you, but it's bad if that was the case. Like it's the first day on
the first day, yeah.
No,
the fights don't happen until like the second week of
August and stuff.
Yeah, it depends on who the player is. But quick question, VT. I've already asked the guys on here before. As far as the rookies go, right? Who are you like? Give me 2 players out of all the rookies, out of the whole rookie class, right? Give me 2 of the rookies that you are looking to like really have an impact on the team this year.
Lassiter and Bullock. To me, that's
I saw your video on Bullock too. I just saw that,
yeah. So I mean, I think Bullock will honestly have the biggest impact of all the rookies that we drafted, and that's if everything goes right, right? Like if Titus is not ready, let me preface this by saying the Titus may not be ready. Blake Fisher could come out there, and he might be the most impactful, being protecting CJ Stroud, right? But if everyone's healthy, I think that Kalen Bullock and Lassiter will have the most impact because our secondary was abused last year, right? We gave 230 yards per game last year, 20th in the league, second worst in the division. We brought Okudah. He has not been great in his NFL career. He also hasn't been healthy. Jimmy Ward, his health concerns last year and, the previous couple of years. So now you brought in Bullock, who is a ball hawk, who I think would fit perfectly replacing Jimmy Ward. Lassiter, I know some people complain about the speed, but the instincts, you just can't teach those instincts. So I think even if Lassiter starts in the slot, that's fine because we play mostly nickel anyway. And then eventually I think he moves to CB2. Will he beat Okudah right away and be CB2 from day one? I don't know, but even if he starts from the slot, he's going to be crazy impactful. Yes, over Desmond King. I think he wins over Desmond King. I'm not sure if he beats Okudah yet, because trying to be a corner in the NFL for being college, that takes some time anyway. So they may wait, maybe say week 4, week 5, week 6 until they push him outside. But Bala, I think Bullock will actually play. If not in September, I think he'll play by October. And I think he's going to have at least 2 interceptions this year. And I think he's going to have a great performance. I think those 2 rookies, I am so excited about them. And obviously, Kate Stover, everyone's going to say Kate Stover, but I think Kate Stover is going to have some impact. I just think because of the way our secondary was last year, where, in my opinion, going into the season last year, I thought our secondary was going to be so strong and ended up being one of our weakest position groups. So I think right now, those 2 rookies, they have the most that they can actually produce. I think they have what it takes to make it. And I think for us, we need that help in the secondary with all the quarterbacks that we're facing this year.
Yeah. If anybody y'all been watching the show, y'all know that those were 2 rookies that we were definitely high on too as well, especially me and Shep. I think that, you know what I'm saying, that Bullock he was like one of my favorite picks that we picked. And I think that just from my experience of watching safety play, he's very instinct. He has a lot of instincts. And the way that he reacts and drives on the football, that's why I can see what you're saying about the picks. I definitely see him having about. I actually said, what did I say, y'all? I said about between
4
3.
picks.
Now, I said between 3 and 7. But I think that the sneaky ways that they may put him out there on the field, because I seen that somebody was saying, and I thought that it may be good to kind of have him rotational with Jimmy Ward, right? So if he's on the field sometimes, and if the quarterback not paying attention, and you got that kind of range out there, that it can be kind of sneaky. So I think he's gonna have a lot of good sneaky plays this year. The Cade Stover thing, like I say, a lot of people talk about Cade Stover. Everybody says, he's gonna be the Gronk kind of a player, especially because he picked number 87. I seen Aaron Wilson had posted them doing stretches on the yard line on the first day of rookie minicamp, and I was like, I didn't even expect him to be that big. Like, I knew he was gonna be big, but he was bigger than I expected. Yeah. And I'm like, who is 87 out there? And I'm like, if that's him, his body type, because I know everybody wants to have the 87 out of Kansas City and stuff like that. But who do y'all think, what type of tight end he may develop into?
Well, right now he's not the best at run blocking. Right, that's his number one issue right now. I think that
George Kittle is out of there.
Right, so he's not going to be a Kittle type of guy, but I do think he'll get better at blocking. Right now, you would consider really to be a move tight end, that he can't play inline right now, but you hope that he does develop to play inline. Let's also remember that he mostly played as a defensive end and a linebacker. He's only been playing tight end for a couple of years, and not
2 years.
Yeah, and that's just a very, very, very short period of time. So he has a lot of growth to get done. So I'm going to say that what you see with him this year, he's going to be completely different 2 years from now. By the time 2026 rolls around, I think we will already have a ring by then. But by the time 2026 rolls around, Cade Stover could be an amazing tight end. Schultz will still be here, but I think that he'll be on sets out there without Schultz. So he's not going to only be out there when we're playing two tight end sets. I think that he'll have some snaps when he's just out there. And I think you want that flexibility, because anytime you're going to play 20 games in a season, right? Like, we're talking postseason as well. You need to keep guys fresh. So you need that depth. You don't just need one superb guy at one position. You need number 2 to come in there and play, if not as good as number 1, but damn freaking close. And I think that Cade Stover has a lot of room to develop. But in 2026, man, I can see him being one of the best pickups of Casario's tenure, frankly.
Yeah, the case.
No,
I'm about to say the case for. I'm about to say for the Case Over thing. It just also because he's the Ohio State guy, and he's also, to me, kind of like a CJ Stroud pick. So I think that's just gonna take him up, not over the hump, but I think that's gonna make him a decent player right there. Just because if CJ wants you, CJ must have saw something in him. So you know what I mean. So I think he'll be okay just with that right there. And as he grows and grows, he'll get better.
I keep it short and simple. when it's all said and done, he will be our best tight end. Which and our best tight end is franchise was Owen Daniels. So as time goes by,
Ever?
he will surpass Owen Daniels. That's my
Damn.
opinion. Because
Okay.
he has the potential. Like Owen Daniels came into a good situation. You know what I'm saying? Decent quarterback play with a great system. Cade is coming into a great system with a great quarterback. You can't fail. The only thing that hurt him will be injuries, and he's pretty much relatively healthy. Like BT said, he's not the best blocker. I told you guys he's not the best blocker, but he is a willing blocker. You know, so he's not just going, not block at all. Like a
Y'all
lot of
seen him
times with coaches.
massaging the cow and stuff. So
Yeah.
hopefully
Like
it plays that.
he
I don't know if he's
has.
gonna be massaging other players out there, but
Oh my God! Pause on that. Pause.
but we seen the hands
No
though.
Watson.
Hey, we don't need no massages out here on
No
this.
Watson.
But bro, we always talk about like, man, how it's the offense is just like in the history of the Texans, it's just never been an offense like this, bro, where it's just so many weapons, bro. Like when we watching games this year, y'all don't realize that, even all the way down to that pickup of the wide receiver that we got from the Rams, right? If Slowick works him into the scheme, which that's just like extra, we got so much going on that would just be like, just a little extra candy on the side. But like Slowick has the opportunity this year to, like, man, to go crazy with this offense, bro. Like we literally got like technically 3 number 1 wide receivers.
Absolutely.
We have tight ends that can get open. We got a tight end that's proven to get open. We got Mixon, bro. See, a lot of people don't like if you know ball, like, because a lot of people like to say Mixon this, Mixon that, but if we were playing the Bengals next year and Mixon was still on the Bengals, we would be talking about how we need to be focused on Mixon. We would be talking about what Mixon could do to our defense.
Yeah,
so
good running back, solid
oh,
running
he's
back.
and really for the scheme that we run, y'all don't realize how perfect Mixon is gonna be for this scheme, bro. Like I've been watching the dude, like I told y'all, he runs off of the tackle so good, bro, to where it's the way he comes off of them, bro. Pause. But it's the way that he runs off of those tackles, bro. Just watch. Y'all go and watch some of his highlights, even in college. But watch his
Mixon highlight other day.
Oh, bro, it's his highlights are crazy, and it's got me so crunk and excited because, like I said, I don't think we've ever had this much firepower on offense ever in the team history. If y'all can say of another team where we had this much firepower, then let me know. But I just don't.
Come close.
You're right.
The only thing we'll come close to it is when we had Watson, Fuller, Hopkins, and Braxton Miller, and that team didn't really reach its full potential, but looked good on paper.
You don't think the one with was with when we had Arian Foster as the running back?
I mean, Sharp. Okay, so
Owen Daniels,
Owen Daniels,
Andre Johnson, Hopkins.
But before Hop wasn't here yet.
Oh yeah, I'm before Hop.
We had what's the name?
Kevin Walter and Jacoby Jones.
Jacoby Jones.
No, that's good. Even though that was good, they don't compare to this, bro. This is almost all-star. Yeah, this is almost all-star allegedly. I don't want to jinx us, but this is almost all-star, man. What do you think, VT? What you were gonna say?
Sorry about that. No, what I was gonna say is we pretty much have the best receiving core in the NFL.
By a long shot.
There isn't really anyone that has 3 receivers that can play as a wide receiver 1. A lot of people simply say that without knowing that Tank was a slot last year. Well, Tank actually played more snaps outside than inside.
Outside.
All 3 of our receivers has Diggs played 60%. In fact, Diggs actually played the least amount of snaps outside compared to all 3 of the receivers that we have right now.
Bro,
so we also have
it's crazy.
So on top of having Diggs, Nico, Collins, we have, like I said, Noah Brown, and then we still have depth after that. We probably will get rid of Robert Woods and add another $5 million to the cap space. But we still have John Mechie, who we don't know how he's going to be.
CJ
and Hutchinson. Right. So, and then the Yankee twins. So there's just so much more available.
And tell us about them. Tell us about them, VT, because I have no idea about them dudes. I've been hearing
Me
so
neither.
much. All I know is that they twins, bro. Like, what the hell? Why did we even pick them? Like, what's going on?
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
so listen, they're very fast. They're deep threats. Both of them, they're pretty much built exactly the same height, same weight, almost exact. One of them actually was going to get picked up by the Seahawks, but turned that down just so he could be with his brother. Some people think that they could get a spot. They're not going to get a spot on the roster. What they will get is a practice squad. They'll get on the practice squad. Now, the thing is, how long will it be on the practice squad? That's the question. Could they actually graduate from the practice squad and to be on the roster? Well, on the Texans, unless major injuries happen, that's a no. So I think their future could be somewhere crazy, but they have a couple of years of development to do. Bottom line is, so overall, our wide receiver group is great. And then on top of that, you have Mixon, who's a receiving threat. You have who C. Royal is talking about, Jaws, the rookie that we picked up.
Oh my God.
He could be the RB2 when he competes against Dameon Pierce, and he's also a receiving threat. So, you know, he didn't just have more than 1,000 yards. He also had 300 receiving yards. So you have both backs there being receiving threats. You obviously have three good receivers that can obviously catch. And then you have both tight ends that can catch. So, you know, you have all these weapons. I do think this is more weapons than we've ever had, because also the quarterback that you have, not to mention this Slowick. Like, this is the best offense the Texans have ever had. And to tell you the truth, we're not even 100% done, because on top of having Laremy Tunsil and Titus Howard, our bookends, we added Blake Fisher for depth, who we didn't have. Now, I questioned that pick in the beginning, but more and more and more, I'm actually thinking it was the right thing to do, especially when Cody Stutes, who came on the show and talked about saying, don't think that Titus Howard is actually good to go week one. He thinks that Titus Howard could potentially be out 3 to 4 weeks, because a similar player, I forgot his name, had the exact same injury almost the same time in the season and was not ready to play. So like he was not ready for 3 or 4 weeks.
That's some good side info.
Yeah, so I think, like, listen, if Titus Howard is not ready to go, Blake Fisher will go in there and he'll play until Titus Howard comes back. Bottom line is that we have the best offense that the Texans have ever had. In fact, in my opinion, the only position group that is weak at all is the secondary, and that's because we're also depending on rookies, right? Like in our offense, we're not depending on rookies anywhere. Everyone is solidifying. The only rookies that we have that are going to see time, Kate Stover and possibly Blake Fisher, that's secondary. We're talking second in the depth chart here. We're not depending on anyone for rookies on offense, and that's what's so great. So as long as we know who's playing center and left guard, which I believe Scruggs will play center, I think left guard will be Jarrett Patterson, but we have lots of players competing for positions there. Our offense is fantastic, and yeah, I don't see another Texans offense that's as good as ours right now. And I agree with Chris there. He has the potential. Jaws has the potential of being RB2. Like I said, he can catch as well. So when you have both Mixon and Jaws that can catch, as well as receivers and our tight ends, man, all I need them to do right now is get rid of Beck, so you get rid of that liability, because he's a liability, and now you're good to go.
Yep. That's pretty much every. That's it right there. What you gonna say, Shep?
No, I was just about to say, because he kept going, and hey, VT, you brought up some cool shit, man. Because especially about the Titus Howard thing, I didn't think he wouldn't be able to start week one, but man, I watched Nico Collins' highlight tape, bro. If you sit back and watch his highlight tape, it's gonna give you like best receiver in the league vibes, bro.
I heard you saying that online.
He's fast, and he got. Have you seen Nico Collins drop a ball? I ain't seen him drop nothing. That's why I was like, man, he giving me best receiver in the league vibes. That's what I was gonna say.
Hold on, I just want to give you the flow to talk about Nico, man.
Oh, okay. Then you got you got me off guard again, did it?
You ain't trying to preach.
No, not really, because I already said my points. But if you think about it, though, man, if he a 6'4" receiver with a 215, can run like a deer, and he not going down easy. You see when he run,
You know why
he run like a running
About
back or
that
something,
action.
You know
bro.
why you're not gonna
Yes,
have
sir.
no problem out of VT or Patton in your observation of Nico
I
Collins?
know,
You
I
already know
know,
why. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know, I know, I
You're
know,
not gonna
man.
get no problems out of that.
Hey,
I'm gonna
but
tell y'all this
salute
though.
to
I
y'all.
will say this to y'all though, man. I was a little scared. Now, first and foremost, when Casario first picked him, like I say, just what the Shep said, all his measurements, his 40 time,
Man,
all of that stuff is amazing. And so I thought we picked up a great receiver, right? And
yeah.
even though he had Davis Mills as his quarterback, um, and a lot of people talk bad about Mills, but I love Mills because without Mills, we wouldn't have CJ. Y'all, only the real ball, only people that know. But
Yeah.
Nico didn't start off too good. He had those injuries and stuff like that. And me, I was hoping, I was always hoping that he would be this receiver that he is now. It's funny that it comes right on the tail end of an off season where he kicked it more with Dre than any time. Did y'all notice that?
Yeah.
Like
I
that
like it.
off since they were like, yo, Dre started being more around the team and he started
Yep.
being more around Nico. All of a sudden, you seen Nico, bro, go to another level. I just want to say
Wow.
this, Dre. Whatever you said to Nico, whatever you instilled in him,
Thank you.
it changed him. It's he almost had not almost, he did. He had an Andre type season. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Facts.
that's why I say, Shep, I fully agree with you. When you go back and you look at those highlights, I think it's about
Mm,
maybe a good 4 or 5 minute highlight
14
reel.
minutes.
Oh, 14 minutes. Okay.
14 minutes,
And when
bro.
I say that you start seeing those plays that he was making, bro, I'm like Nico the truth. And not only
Yeah.
is he's good with CJ. Like
Yes.
him and CJ, like if you listen to what Zaire Franklin, I'm pretty sure y'all heard him break down that play. When he talks about that play that happened with the Colts, that only happens with like synergy between a wide receiver and a quarterback has to be off the charts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to know because any other quarterback knows that his job is to 9 times in a 10 in a situation like this to throw the ball out of bounds, get rid of the ball, live for another play. But he threw it to a spot on the field where Nico was aware to run to. And bro, I just think that this year we about to get a fired up Nico.
Mhm.
We about to get a.
Contract deal.
I even think
It's check. It's check season.
the way that they handled the dig situation, I love that because now
Yeah.
you're gonna
Facts.
get a super like invested digs. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Mm-hmm.
already know. Look, we didn't expect this, but man, we got a super invested Tank Dell. Tank Dell is invested now spiritually more than anything. He like, yo, I almost
Yes.
lost my life, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
For real.
Look,
It looked like he got faster, right?
I think that made him faster. I ain't like.
Wow.
He
Oh,
looks
that's
faster.
If I
funny.
I'll tell
ever
you that.
talk to Tank in
That shit
person,
looked
I would be like,
crazy,
bro, the way
right?
you was standing in between them gunfire, bro, you was depending
You,
too much on your speed, bro. You was like, oh,
yeah,
I know,
you
like he
supposed to
must have knew he was
be.
gonna get out the way. But bro,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna be super invested, bro. Like this is how I look at it because I told y'all I play Madden. I really go into on the defensive side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? And I just put myself in the shoes of defensive coordinator playing against the Texans, bro. That's headaches.
Like
That's staying up all night, bro. Bro, what do you do? What do you do? Who do you stop? Who do
lose.
you say like, oh yeah, as long as
Yeah,
we
lose, take
Just
do
a
this,
L.
lose.
as long as we do this, no, because as soon as you
Hey,
focus on
just
this, you got to
stimulate the
further
game. Go
think.
to the next one, bro.
Hey,
Yeah,
No
for
other you
sure.
play.
I think Mixon finna have one of his best years ever, bro.
Most
Um,
definitely.
So
y'all
much
know that
space to work with.
Y'all know that I made this brand probably fall back on another show, but I never erased it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep on
Oh yeah.
because one day I'm gonna pop this up here and it's gonna be for real, y'all. It's gonna be real. I'm
Hey,
telling you.
BT. I've
Don't
told the
jinx
Listen,
us.
guys.
we're
Knock
going on
on
the run,
wood,
man.
y'all. I
I've
got a
told the guys
720. Jinx,
we
don't
win the
jinx
Super Bowl
us.
this year, bro. We win the
Don't
Super
jinx
Bowl.
us.
It's down the street in New Orleans. I'm gonna be in New Orleans, and when we win, I told them when we win, I'm gonna get my 100 tattoo. So my first tattoo is gonna be on my hands. You know what I'm saying? Super Bowl. We got.
And you say you having a sex with a prostitute in the alley. You did say that, right?
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that.
Okay. First of all, you don't go to the alleys in New Orleans. Exactly.
Oh no.
You don't never go through the alleys in New Orleans. It's not safe. It's not.
Okay, look, I got one more question for y'all before we get out of here. First and foremost, I want to tell y'all this, just in case y'all know. I don't know if y'all can see it on y'all side, but we are 151 strong in here right now. One of the highest that we'd have never had. So, bro, I definitely want to give an applause right now, man, to
the VT effect.
I definitely want to give you an applause, VT, man, and thank you, because you can actually, bro, you ain't actually one of those levels, man, where and even with Ruben, man, y'all can be acting like y'all can be on a high horse right now if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But for you to actually, you know what I'm saying, be here with us guys, man, now and we barely starting out, man, dog, we really appreciate it, man. This gives us like confidence through the roof, bro, to continue to do this. We just hope that you really enjoyed your time here, bro, and that you will come back and that you will invite us on to your show, bro, because this was fun, man. I'm talking about it was super fun, bro. And like I said, this is always gonna be open to you, bro. Whenever you want to come on or whenever you need something from us, bro, just let us know, man. Because like I say, this has been one of the biggest shows for us, bro, and we greatly appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Anything y'all guys want to say before I ask this?
I appreciate you inviting me, and I definitely will come on again. I'll definitely get you guys to come on the show. So appreciate you guys are doing great things. Keep going.
Man, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. So this last question that we're gonna ask, this one here was actually brought up by Pat, man. It is free agent. What free agent signing? Because everybody thinks that the Texans still may try to sign a free agent before this season start with. What free agent signing that would push them over the top, even though we know that they kind of already there in our head and our heart? But who is that one that one free agent signing that you think that would push them over the top?
I got one.
Should I answer?
Oh yeah.
Simmons. I mean, I think that's the obvious choice here. He's the best free agent on the market. He's probably going to cost somewhere around $14 million. We have $23 million cap space right now. You get rid of Woods, you end up with 28, 29 right there. You get Justin Simmons, you won't the cap from a cap space perspective, you'll probably structure it so the cap hits $10 million this year, and then you could still sign someone else. I mean, I think that we'll end up signing one or two dudes. I don't know if they'll both be free agents, though. I think it could be a trade. Once we get rid of Woods, you'll have close to $30 million. You have $28 million. You're not just going to sit on that, I don't think. So I don't think we're going to try to sign.
I think they're going to try to sign Nico because it's a Texans thing to do. It's to try to sign him before he demands too much money. I done seen him do it with Whitney Merciless and a lot of people. I do think that
Well, I know you're.
I've been thinking about the Simmons thing.
Oh, sorry, you're.
Okay, I've been thinking about the Simmons things too, right? And my thing is this, right? If we bring in Simmons, how does that disrupt the safety position on the team? Like who? Because he has to start pretty much, right?
Listen, you're going to want to play three safeties out there sometimes, right? So So one of the other things too is you can now move Petrie to the nickel, right? Because that's what he played in college. Petrie was a nickelback, and we've kind of forced him to play deep safety. He's never been a deep safety in college. I remember when I was looking at the snaps, he had less than 100 snaps. I think it was even less. It may have been 20 snaps as deep safety. He had almost 700 snaps at being the nickel. So I think if you have another safety out there, you can use Petrie to be what he's actually good at. Ward is unfortunately likely going to get hurt because of his age and just what's going to happen with him. So you bring Simmons in. Now you have Simmons and you have Bullock, and then you can use Petrie when you need to. Then you have that flexibility, and that's what I think Simmons would do. But when you talk about extending Nico, this is the thing that I keep saying. I want to extend Nico, but there's no reason to do it now. It's not like that the cap will actually affect this year anyway. You extend Nico, it's going to affect the cap for 2025. So there's no reason not to sign a 1-year deal with these guys. So you're not paying next year because that cap will free up next year. So sign the guys on a 1-year deal. And then that money frees up next year and you're going to sign Nico. So I don't think signing that money that we have now really has anything to do with Nico. The other thing too is that people say, well, you're going to save a lot of money. How much are you going to save? The top wide receiver right now is getting $30 million. I think that Nico's likely going to get $25 million if he has another outstanding season. If he has anything over 1,000 yards and say 6 touchdowns, he's going to get roughly 25, maybe 22 at the absolute lowest, but I doubt that. I think he's going to have a better than 1,000-yard season. I think he's going to have at least a 1,200-yard season, possibly 10 touchdowns. And so you're going to pay him about 25. So what are you going to save? $3 million per year? I mean, that's nothing. So so the thing is, if you extend him now, it's likely going to be a 3, 4, or 5-year contract. But if he gets hurt this year, that risk is going to be built into the contract. Less guaranteed money for him. And so that means that we will be able to move away from him, say the second year, as opposed to waiting and giving all that guaranteed money for 4 years and waiting until the 5th year of his contract to get rid of him if we need to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Having this year, telling him he's going to ball out this year and then he's going to get a contract. And they could do it mid-season. They could do it in November. I'm not saying they have to wait till the offseason.
Just going to say that.
Yeah, because I just feel like if they wait to that off season, bro, he gonna cost, bro. He because look at it like this, right? We got like Dan comes down to Diggs, and when you look at him and Diggs, right? I'm pretty sure Diggs is gonna have a good season. If Diggs, let's just say hypothetically speaking, Diggs has a good season, right? I'm talking about a season good enough to where he's still in that top 10 wide receiver talk, right? We're not gonna be able to pay both of them. Or do y'all think the Texans attempt to pay both?
You actually could. You actually could. Like, so let me tell you how.
Really, VT?
Let me tell you how. It's doing what the Saints do, kick it down the river. Basically, if you look at what they did with the Schultz contract, the Danielle Hunter contract, the Titus Howard contract, what do? They basically restructured and pushed all the money into 2020, 25, 2026, and then a little bit 2027. All they got to do is keep doing that. And they can continue because, it's just simple math. As long as there's no COVID comeback or anything, as long as, there's growth there for the overall cap, they can just keep pushing it. So I'm like the NFL.
That's real NFL executive math right there.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's business.
I've been thinking from a fair standpoint, but VT, they need to have you in the office in the NFL. The NFL works for real. They you read those big contract numbers such and such just signed for 110 and you think that's what it is. All that money be pushed so far to the back and they don't even make it to that contract. They don't even make it to those they get released by that time or something like that.
One of the other advantages that we have that say someone like the Bengals don't is that our owner is rich, cash rich, not just on paper. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of these deals, what they're doing when we say push things back, they're giving them a lengthy, huge signing bonus so that this year their cap space is tiny, right? So that's how Titus Howard's contract is smaller, Dalton Schultz, Danielle Hunter. Basically, all they did is they paid him with a signing bonus. What that does is that they're able to split it out equally amongst those, say, 4 years remaining in the contract. But the thing about that is that only teams with actual cash can do that, because when you sign a guaranteed contract, even if it's 4 years long, if that's guaranteed money, 70% of that money has to go into the bank right away, right? In escrow right away. And you can't, and if you're cash poor, like the Bengals or the Raiders, you have a situation where you can't play those signing bonus games because you can't give $100 million here, $20 million here, $50 million here, another $100 million here. You can't spend $200 million in cash. Exactly. Because you don't have it. You have to liquidate yourself. We don't have that problem with Cal. We don't have that problem with their owners. So that's the advantage that Nick has, is that he can actually play these games and keep 2 top receivers getting paid over $25 million a year and play these games. So yes, there's a way where we have both. Will we actually keep both of them? Probably not. But if we wanted to, we could.
I do understand that. I do, and I hope that the success of that we have that kind of success to where they actually trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I just thought that it would be kind of like strenuous on the cap and you know, all the other, because man, we signed so many 1-year deals. You know what I'm saying? We signed so many 1-year deals that our team pretty much kind of changes every year. But I think that, you know, this foundation that we had, they're gonna try to kind of stick with it. What were you gonna say?
Diggs is not going to command a lot of money. He's on a up and up in age. If and when we win the Super Bowl this year, that's going to entice him to want to come back here and play on a decent number. I feel like Diggs understands that, hey, I'm a big part of here. I'm a big part here. And this guy, Nico, is also a big part here with us together, along with Tank Dell. This is how we got here to win the Super Bowl. I'm speaking all this into existence. So come next year, once we done getting drunk and partying with confetti, when Nick sit down, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a deal worked out to where both those guys are back going forward. I say Nico get a 4-year deal. The Diggs probably get a two or three.
I don't have nothing to add to it because, man, VT tough. You came through and start breaking it down like breaking the numbers down like a true exec, man. Like Nitty say, we got to get you an NRG, man. Get him a cubicle up there, man.
Hey, for real, man.
He needs his own office, man. Fuck a cubicle.
When you break it down, when you break it down like that, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Made a lot of sense.
Hey, but did y'all see this right here? I just want to say this. When you brought up the fact that Cam having that money, bro, and I look at this video right here, bro. Yeah. Cam got that money, bro.
They got that money. Ski. It's funny, man.
Like I said, man, what in the world? But other than that, though, y'all, man, we glad, man, that we had BT come through. We're not gonna hold y'all. Hold on, let me close that before we keep going off in my background. We're gonna be ski to death. But other than that, though, man, bro, I just think that's the dopest thing ever. I remember y'all. I know y'all remember me showing the picture on the first show. It had to be either the first show or the second show, but it was a picture of it's the infamous with Cal sitting at the game and Hannah sitting beside her and she sleep. Yeah. And that picture is infamous. It's like it's burned into my memory because it represented what, you know, we were as an organization. It even made me think at that time, like, I didn't even know Hannah at that time, but I was like, Hannah just seemed like one of those women that just, you know, she's that rich wife. She just sit on the sideline and she's just going through the motions with this team. But when she began to be more involved in this team, man, and watching Cal, you know what I'm saying? I remember it started with him taking the picture at the with the monster trucks. He get out the monster truck and he's throwing up the H, and you know, you hear about them donating the money to TSU, and you start seeing Cal wearing the chains and stuff, and so you start thinking like, hold up, is this real? Are they trying to just pull the wool over my eyes? Because, you know, they were in desperate times. I mean, they almost lost the city, bro. I never seen other than the Houston Oilers. And this would let you know I have a PhD in this, what I'm talking about. Being a Houston Oilers fan and seeing how we gave up on the Oilers, this was close to seeing what was about to happen with the Texans. I mean, it's almost scary of how close they came to losing the city. And people who went to games, they'll tell you, when you look around, bro, it was kind of crazy. And I just want to give a shout out to, you know, to Cal and Hannah, because what they did was real. And, you know, and you can tell by the way that they being blessed. You know what I'm saying? I don't think God blesses you if you're not being authentic. And the way that this team formalized and came together, it came together on the field, but it's definitely spiritual, like I say all the time, man. Like, it's so many lucky things that had to happen. Like, bro, D'Amico playing here 17 years ago. If he didn't play here, bro, he wouldn't be the coach here right now. I don't care what you say, how you say it. It's things that were put in place a long time ago that has us where we are right now. And that's what has my belief. So that when y'all hear me saying, yo, we're going to be winning a Super Bowl in the next couple of years, this is not just my heart talking. This is real. This is my mind. This is logical. This is, you can look on paper. If anybody who watched football for longer than 20 years, you see what's about to happen. We about to be one of those hated teams, and we about to be one of those loved but hated teams.
Love it.
CJ about to be the next Tom Brady, and I feel like it. I feel like that's why Tom Brady speaks so much of him. I think that, you know, we just gonna be one of those teams, bro. It's like, oh, the Texans winning again. They in the playoffs again. But don't take
wait.
No, because we know where we came from, man. And I'm gonna end you with that, man. I'm gonna let my boys, you know, y'all take it from there. But hey, yeah, because y'all know I start, you know, I'll put that music preaching up
hard.
It's the heart of the show.
No, sir.
Okay, well, look, man, since it's the closing out, man, first and foremost, I want to shout out to the people that still don't have any lights and the people that just got their lights back on. Salute to y'all, man. Hopefully, y'all your lights come back on and stuff like that. I'm praying for y'all. I'm praying for the city. And I want to give a shout out to VT Tubby Bell, man. Hey, shout out to you, man. It's one of the biggest shows. Like Nitty said, we got a lot of viewers. We getting the VT effect. So that's a big salute. H is up to you, bro. I sure appreciate that. I appreciate CP and I appreciate Nitty like I always do. And hey, salute to everybody watching.
Yo,
thank you.
Shout out to everybody in the city, bro. Like my heart with everybody, my prayers with y'all. Like, and I love y'all. And we always gonna be together. You know what I'm saying? We Houston strong, man. Ain't nothing we can't get through. This is a small pebble through the things we've already been through. So shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? BT, thank you for coming on, man. Like Chef say, the BT effect. But I'm gonna tell you what it really is, though. It's the Go Blue effect, man. That's really
there we go.
That's
I
really.
noticed you don't put on no Texans gear tonight. You gonna throw on your mix.
I mean, I got it right there, but you know,
I see it. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
I mean, I do have to rock these too, but
oh my
you know,
God. Oh my God.
You know what's funny is that I'm wearing my Texas flip-flops right now.
Hey, so does that mean that y'all closet Charger fans?
No. I mean, listen, I'm not a Charger fan, but listen, I like Harbaugh. I think he did a great job. You know, it's gonna be weird seeing Blake.
Well, I am rooting for him to beat the Ravens.
I'm sorry.
I am rooting for him to beat the Ravens, though. Like when they play each other, when the Harbaughs go against each other, I do want him to smash. Out of the brothers, though, I will say that I do like the older brother the best. He's what he did in San Francisco, man. I loved him since then. Like he had that team playing like, man, I can't believe he even left the league then. But I guess you go to that many.
He had to go back home and get us right.
But it's one thing too. Right. You go to that many Super Bowls, bro, and you don't win. It's like you got to kind of leave and come back because it's crazy. It's kind of like Pete Carroll, but that's for another show. But it's like Pete Carroll is it's the same effect. It's like he's one of those coaches, bro, that's just like he's so good. He go just keep getting to this level. But if that's all you keep doing is getting to that level, like that's why you'll have a coach that'll be. Make it to a championship game 3 years in a row, like Andy Reid, and see won't Philly. Well, he did it 4 years in a row, and see won't they still fire your ass because they'll just be like, damn, that's as far as we gonna get with you, bro. Like it's good to be at a championship game.
Yeah, but that was McNabb's fault though. But that's another story.
Yeah, man, because T.O. came back, but you know, we'll talk about that on another thing. But other than that, though, y'all, man, we definitely appreciate y'all coming through. I want to play the what's the name as we leaving up out of here, bro, and then we gonna end this thing, man, because that intro was pretty dope, man.
Yeah, play the music, run the music.
Hey, appreciate you again. Appreciate you again, VT, man. We'll be linking up with you real soon, my brother.
Much love, bro. Appreciate you,
VT, man.
Texans, you. Your girl, please be down. Texans on 3 is the best place to get your Houston Texans news. All the podcasts will leave you confused. We got Frank, Nitty, and Patton, and Champagne Chef too.
Hey, man, like I say, man, we will. Let me turn this down so y'all can make sure y'all hear me. Hey, it's been beautiful, man. We will make sure that we see y'all next show. Y'all know we every Tuesday and we every Thursday, but we definitely will pull out shows special just like this when we got special guests. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes,
Thursday, well, we'll see y'all tomorrow, but we got a special guest Thursday too, man. Y'all already know. I give you a hint, man. Fifth Ward will definitely be in the building. Y'all already know what it is, man. And we represent this thing to the death, man. Go Texans. Hey, I guess it's go blue, man, since, you know, we got VT
There you go.
and Patton on here. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give y'all boys y'all props, man.
Go
Y'all
blue.
They national
Champs.
champs, man. National
All
champion Michigan Wolverines. Hey, there we go, man. But other than that, though, man, we got, like my boy Patton said, man, we love y'all, man. And like Landry said, I always love when Landry say this, man. We are all in this Texans thing together. We all fans together, bro. Like, we about to see one of the most amazing seasons.
Yes, sir.
As long as all of us are together in mind, knowing that we about to see that, then bro, it's about to go down, man. I'm telling y'all, man. We definitely going past the division round this year. Y'all agree? There you go.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, we gonna take this thing out like that, though, man. And it's been beautiful, man. Texans on 3, Texans on 3, and like we always do, man. 1, 2, 3, Texas.
Texas.
See y'all Tuesday.